I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I will go ahead and share my screen. There's something I need to do on YouTube. 1 minute, please. Stop share. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for joining. I'm just trying to sort out the live streaming right now. We're starting in a few seconds. Slide, okay? And I'm hoping everybody can see my screen now. Thank you to everybody who has joined. My name is Ola, and I'm just gonna go ahead to start. There's a part where I'm gonna introduce myself. So I won't do that right now. I'll just go ahead to start. Thank you.
I currently serve as the Director of Community Impact at Waterloo Region Community Foundation.
I'm a City Councillor at Ward 5 Kitchener.
I help people tell their story.
Italy is a pioneering Black
I apologize.
female-owned secular ag tech company. Presently an actor and a professor.
I am Program Manager of Liftoff by CCWL.
One of the founders and the current president of Nigerians in the region of Waterloo.
The very first job I got when I landed here, I lasted just 1 day.
Nothing had prepared me for the winter and what I was about to experience.
I needed to learn how to teach Canadian adults. So I did that at Humber College for a couple of months.
It took a lot of education and convincing and proving to the authorities before we could begin to get traction.
Success leaves clues. If you go into a new industry, look for like the most successful people in that industry, reach out to them. You'll be shocked how many doors will open.
Every day is a learning curve.
Give yourself grace. You have to tough it out. You have to be resilient.
Find your community.
I've lost 2 jobs since I've been in Canada.
Everybody's path is different.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for watching that. We usually like to start with that part because our guest, that was from the first season of the Rising Strong video series, and because our guest shared so many gems. Even if you watch nothing else, just knowing that you should be giving yourself grace is a great way to start the webinar. So once again, welcome. Thank you for joining, and we will go ahead now.
I currently serve as the Director
No,
of
I'm not
Community
asking you to
Impact
play
at Waterloo
again.
Region.
I am going ahead. Okay. Okay, yes. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Today we are talking about elevator pitches. And the webinar is called Master Your Elevator Pitch. Turn the simplest encounters into life-changing opportunities as you go along on your journey in Canada. This is the Successful Newcomer. My name is Ola. I'm the founder of the Successful Newcomer. And what we do here is to support skilled newcomers of Black African descent through their journey of settling and thriving in Canada through the use of digital media and also through learning opportunities. Just gonna be going ahead. So a little bit about me. Again, my name is Ola. The full name is Olabukola Misha. And I have over 16 years of experience. I think I'm approaching 17 years now. Over 16 years of experience across various industries. I moved to Canada in June 2020 as a skilled worker, and I became a Canadian citizen in January 2024. I am a nonprofit consultant. I'm a founder. I'm a learning experience designer. I'm a part-time college professor. There's so many things that I am. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a nice friend. If you happen to be my friend, and many things. And I don't usually like to spend a lot of time on this part because I know you can find more information on me online. If you go on LinkedIn, you'll find me there. If you go on Instagram, you will find me there. So let's dive into the spice of the day. Okay. Right, today we're going to be talking about what an elevator pitch is. We would also talk about why your elevator pitch is important. And then we would go ahead and craft an elevator pitch. Prepare your mind. If you don't have a pen already, get your pen, get your notepad so that you can get the best out of this session. It's a free webinar, I know, but if you take advantage of it, it can be, there's something in my mouth. Trying to get rid of it. Okay, I think it's gone. Okay, I think it's gone. So if you take good advantage of it, you can actually come out with your elevator pitch to the point where you're going for a networking event, you're meeting people, they're asking, oh, so what do you do? Or who are you? Tell me about yourself. You're ready. You're not saying, you're ready. So get your pen, get your notepad, and let's dive in. So talking about what an elevator pitch is. What is an elevator pitch? It is a brief, compelling introduction that communicates who you are, what you do, and what makes you unique. Also, it's designed to grab attention and spark interest. So it grabs the person's, whoever you're talking to, it grabs their attention, it sparks their interest, and then it leaves a memorable impression. The catch with the elevator pitch is that it's meant to be something that happens within a space of 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So that 2 minutes is even too long. It's 30 seconds, target 30 seconds at the maximum, right? We all know that if you're not reading something off a note, there's a probability that when you deliver it, that you could go over or under. So the reason I'm saying target 30 seconds is just in case you blank out or just in case something happens. If you're going over to like 1 minute. You're not hitting the 2 minute mark. Think of an elevator pitch as something that you need to deliver during the time when you go into an elevator and you're going into the next floor. Think of how many seconds it takes an elevator to take you from one floor to the other. So imagine that you get into an elevator, you look to your right, and you just observe that, oh, that's the managing director of this organization. And you have just 30 seconds to talk to you. And they say, oh, hi, how are you? What do you do? Just 30 seconds because they're getting off on the next floor. What are you going to say about yourself that would grab their attention to the point where, you're leaving a memorable impression and they become interested in you? And I hope that helps you too. So every time you're trying to figure out or trying to remember what an elevator pitch is, just remember that it's that thing that, gets people interested. And you think of an elevator and the amount of time it takes you to go from one floor to the other, and then you know how short it needs to be. One thing you need to note, one thing that is very important for you to note is that your elevator pitch is not meant to provide an exhaustive list of, who you are or what you do and what makes you tick and, what makes you interesting. That's not the idea. The idea is that it should provide enough information about you to get them interested and hungering for more. Like they want to know more. The MD is getting to their office and they're saying, get me more information about that person, or you're sending an email. They want to know more because you have piqued their interest. You have teased their senses. You have gotten them interested in you. Or even if it's a networking event and you find yourself in, there's time for you to talk to that person. They are not rushing off. You're saying something that gets them so interested in you that they're not rushing off. They're not trying to make an excuse. You know how it is in Canada where people would never, is it really possible for somebody to actually come out and tell you you're boring or I'm not interested in you in Canada? I don't think so. There's nothing impossible, but it's unlikely that it's going to happen. What's going to happen is they will say, oh, I don't want to take too much of your time. Or I'm just going to go grab some coffee. Or, oh, that's a friend. I've been meaning to talk to that friend. Would have a chat later. They'll be so nice about it. But you want to say something that, even if they see a friend that they've been looking for a long time, they're saying, hi, I'm so happy to see you, but just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to quickly tell me more. They're so invested in learning more about you that they are willing to put every other thing on hold just to talk to you, just to keep talking to you. So hold on to that. So moving on now to why, and I forgot to mention this, I'm not known for finishing the webinars on time, but I'm hoping that we'll be done on time today. So it might be a short session. So going on, why is your elevator pitch important? So before I move on, I want you to just take a minute to reflect on that. Why is your elevator pitch important? Why do you think it's important? Why do you need to have that 30-second pitch about yourself? You're just you probably have an amazing job right now and you're not looking for any other opportunities. Or what you're looking for is an interview that will get you a job. You're not looking to meet somebody in the elevator. Or you're not going out a lot. Or, there could be many things going on in your mind. But I'm hoping that for you to be here, it must mean that you've been, engaging on some level with our content, and you're somebody who is passionate about growth and about yourself. And you would have observed, or you may have seen somewhere, that it's not only on the interview table or in the boardrooms that decisions have been made. There's even a popular saying that more decisions are being made in the ballrooms than in the boardrooms, meaning destinies are being sealed in parties, at dinner tables, at community center conversations, different places, than in the boardrooms where, you think everything has to be serious. I've been privileged to be in a number of boardrooms. And I know that it's not every time that, they're making serious, in fact, a lot of the serious decisions that they need to make in the boardroom, that need to be made in the boardroom, conversations have gone around on those decisions before the meeting, and people already know where they stand. At the point where people are voting, that's not when they're making the decision. They made the decision before they got into the boardroom. So you need to be ready. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's also been confirmed from multiple research sources that over 85%, at least not less than 80%, of job opportunities are not posted. So no matter how many job opportunities you're seeing right now, that's just about 15 to 20% of the available opportunities. How do you get access to the other opportunities? Through networking. What can help your networking? Your elevator pitch. So, and this networking can happen anywhere. It can happen in community centers. It can happen at the gym. It can happen anywhere, practically anywhere. At the store, I know somebody who only complimented a person's outfit, and 1 year later, that same person got them a job in a bank in Canada. So these things you have to be ready. That's the point I'm trying to make. So let's dive into some of the things that some of the reasons why your elevator pitch is really important. First impressions matter. I'm sure you probably also wish, I wish we lived in a world where we get 1 million impressions, right? But if you could reflect, and I say this a lot, if you engage with our content a lot, to a good extent, you would know by now that I am an advocate of reflections. Please do your personal reflection. Please do your personal reflection. They'll make you a better person. They'll help you to make better decisions, and they will open more doors of opportunities for you. If you could also reflect, if you could take a second or two to reflect right now and think about some of the people that you don't really like them, or you don't really connect with them, you're not really connected with them. And you don't have to like everybody. You only probably have to love everybody. That's if you're a person of faith. But some of the people you have issues with, think of your first experience with them. I wouldn't be surprised if a good percentage of those people are people that didn't make a good first impression. There's a saying that you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. A first impression is just that, the first. And it really does matter. And studies have shown that first impressions are formed in the first 7 to 30 seconds. And your elevator pitch needs to be delivered in 30 seconds. So you see how this is coming together, right? This is coming together. And if you really want to make that good first impression, then you need to nail your elevator pitch. The other thing I wanted to say about elevator pitches, they are fluid. It's not something that, you have nailed it today and then it doesn't change. You continue to have the same elevator pitch over and over and over again. It doesn't work like that. Depending on just the same way you would update your personal summary on LinkedIn or your professional summary on your resume, is the same way you have to regularly review your elevator pitch and update it. That's number one. Depending on how well you have grown or how your journey has been. It doesn't even matter. It's not about growing, it's about your journey and how your journey has evolved. The other thing that's very important is the context. The elevator pitch that was amazing when you were in your home country, and I'm saying this because the clients that we primarily serve, I'm not saying that people who engage with our content cannot be Canadian-born individuals, but the people that we primarily serve are people who are skilled newcomers or skilled immigrants in Canada. So you have a home country. What worked in your home country might not work in Canada. The elevator, the same model, it might be the same structure that you're using, but the language and the way you're putting it together might not work in Canada. So that's something you have to also bear in mind. Your elevator pitch is fluid and it is context specific. It's context based. It can change over time based on your situation, based on the situation, based also on the opportunities you're looking for. So let me explain. If in your home country, you were a doctor, for example, a medical doctor, and now you're in Canada, you're looking for a job. You're looking for maybe not really a survival job, but a job in the meantime while you're working on your certification that could take about a year to get. So you're looking for a hospital administration job, or maybe you have customer service experience and you're looking for a customer service job. And you want to deliver your elevator pitch. When we get to the point where we're crafting our elevator pitch, we'll talk about this. You would not be highlighting your medical profession because that's not what you're looking for right now. Even if the person were to get interested in your medical profession, even if they had a job right now, that they're looking for a doctor, they know someone looking for a doctor, can you take the job? No, because you're not certified yet. So you have to, a lot of thoughts needs to go into your elevator pitch. That's what I'm trying to say. And you only have that time. So imagine you're saying, I'm a medical doctor. I was a medical doctor back home in my country. And right now time is gone. The person sees you as a medical doctor. It was back home. They're thinking, oh my, I wish I could help you. I can't help you. I wish you all the best in your career. Take care of yourself. Bye. And that's it. So think about it well. So let's move on. The next reason why your elevator pitch is important is that it clarifies your value. There's so many times I meet people, amazing people, and I go away wondering, amazing person, but I'm not sure if somebody were to ask me, oh, what does that person have to offer? I really don't know what to say. I'm not sure what they do. I can't put in a word for them because I'm not really sure what they do, honestly. I'm not sure what value they bring to the table. And it's not really about being a business analyst or being an accountant or being a doctor or being a lawyer or being a consultant or being any of those things. How do you do the job that you do? Who are you? What makes you tick? So if somebody is looking for an accountant, they're not just looking for an accountant. They're looking for somebody who is really passionate or somebody who does work in a particular way. So what is it about you that I can put forward to that person as your value? So think about it. So according to Harvard Business Review, people often struggle. It's weird. I have struggled. When somebody says, what do you do? And I'm thinking, I'm suddenly blanking out. I'm thinking, oh, what do I do? Really, what do I do? And for internationally trained professionals, one of the reasons this might be happening is because your experience is so wide and you're so smart, you're so good that you don't even know which one to put forward at every point in time. Maybe you've done banking operations, you were excellent at it. You've done customer service, you were excellent at it. You've done IT, software, something, and you were excellent. You were excellent at so many. So you're not usually sure. So you find yourself saying something like, actually, I have a wide experience. I've done some operations, and then 3 minutes have gone. The person is just thinking, can you just let me go, please? I'm tired of listening to this. Can you please let me? I just wanted to know what you do. I didn't sign up for this. So having your elevator pitch, again, another thing I would say is it doesn't have to be one. You can have different buckets of situations scenarios and different types of elevator pitches for those each scenario. So that just like the way you tailor your resume to different jobs, you can know which elevator pitch to bring out of your pocket depending on the situation. If it's a job situation, you know which one to bring out. If it's maybe you're also targeting business, you know which one to bring out. It depends. Or you're looking for a referral, or you're trying to get mentorship from someone, you know which one to bring out. So it can, but the point is, be clear on your elevator pitch so that you can clearly communicate your value at every point in time. Moving on, it helps you to build your confidence. Just imagine that I showed up for this webinar with no slides, no idea what I'm going to say, not even sure how the platform is going to behave today. I'm going to be going, thank you. I'm just trying to, thank you for being here. I'm just going, and then I'm shaking, I'm all sorts. But one thing, and I know your confidence is made up of so many different things. And this is the point where I'll mention to you that we had an IG live session yesterday, and it's on our Instagram page. Go check it out. Where we talk about how to get your confidence back, because we know that that's something that a lot of immigrants struggle with. They were doing amazing, but since moving to Canada, it's been a struggle to speak up in meetings, or a struggle to even get their confidence back. So in that live session, we talked about 5 ways to get your confidence back. Go check it out when we're done with the webinar. So moving on. There are so many things that make up, that affect your confidence. Let your elevator pitch not be one of them. The same way we'll say one of the ways to build confidence, even though we didn't talk about that in the IG live, is looking good. Wearing something nice, looking the part. At least when you look the part, that one is out of the way. Even if people are laughing, they are not laughing at your outfit. The same way, if you have your elevator pitch well mapped out, well practiced, then you know that it can help to reduce social anxiety, because you know what you have to say about yourself. It helps you to come across as more confident, right? So having your elevator pitch helps to build your confidence. And it opens doors for you. If I know what your value is, if I'm clear on your value, I know what you bring to the table, then I can say, oh, yeah, I really need you to be talking to this person. Or I can say, oh, there's this opportunity. If you're looking for a new opportunity, I can easily say, oh, yeah, this is where we can go. And when I say I don't mean I as all, I mean whoever you're talking to, right? So a survey by Inc. magazine found that 85% of people who successfully transitioned into new roles attributed their success to having a well-prepared pitch ready for honest. So that's the thing also. We tend to think, oh, Shebi, I was going to say Shebi. Shebi is one of my, is it a slang? I think it's a slang in my home country of Nigeria. We tend to think, oh, it's just, when I want to go for a networking event, I will plan it out. Has it ever occurred to you that, remember how I said networking happens anywhere? Has it ever occurred to you that your neighbor that you have never ever spoken to might be a recruiter, might be a human resources manager, might be a janitor in an organization where they're trusted and they can put forward somebody's name for a job, a position? Has it ever occurred to you that could be the case? So it's very important that you don't wait until you have official networking opportunities or networking events before you craft your elevator pitch. Have it ready. It's something in your ammunition, in your arsenal. It's an ammunition in your arsenal. Have it ready and ready to be whipped out at any opportunity. Recite it, right? So it opens doors for you, because when you are able to clearly communicate your value confidently, then it's easy for people to identify where you fit in terms of opportunities. I also cannot tell you the number of people, because of the nature of the work that I do. I engage with people a lot. I do referrals, conversations, and all of those things. I cannot believe the number of people that when I ask them, oh, somebody says, oh, well, I'm looking for a job. If you find anything, And I'm saying, oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. Do you want to tell me what are you interested in? And I cannot believe this. They say anything. What is the meaning of anything? The truth is, I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I have ever asked you that question, you have said anything. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not thinking about you anymore because I don't know where to put you. But if you say to me that I'm looking for admin opportunities in these industries, or I'm looking for this, I'm able to, if I'm talking to people, if I'm on LinkedIn, I'm seeing opportunities, I know what to forward to you. I know what to put your name forward for. So again, be clear on your elevator pitch. It just might open doors for you. It just might open doors for you, particularly remembering our contexts as newcomers or even immigrants. Nobody knows us, right? You need people speaking for you. One of the most important things you need to do for yourself as an immigrant is to be so clear on your value that people are also so clear on it that they can speak for you in rooms where you're not present. Because trust me, there'll be so many rooms that you don't even know they exist because you're new. You don't know. But you want people who know about those rooms talking about you in those rooms in a way that clearly communicates your value. Very important. And if they're able to clearly communicate your value, doors just might be opening for you. You just might be getting those emails and those messages to say, oh, I was wondering if you might be interested in this. I think this is the last point. Yeah. Lastly, on the reasons why your elevator pitch is important, it maximizes networking potential. So you don't want so going to a networking opportunity, going for a networking event is not just for the sake of going. And I hope that we've done some sessions on networking. We have a webinar that was done a while ago, a couple of years ago, but it's still very relevant today. So I would suggest that you go find that webinar on our page and go watch it. If you're still in that WhatsApp group where you think, oh, networking is about meeting people. No. Networking is not about meeting people. It's about, yes, meeting people or knowing people, but beyond knowing people, it's about them knowing you. I know Kamala Harris, so I know Donald Trump. I know Justin Trudeau. I know, but do they know me? Can they mention my name when they are asking them about people services that I render? That's what you should be asking yourself. So it's not about you knowing people. It's about them knowing you, knowing what you do, knowing how you do what you do, knowing how well you do what you do, enough for them to be so confident about you and speak about you in rooms where you're not present. Always note that. It's not about you knowing them. They have to know you, know what you do. And can you count the number of times there are people that you know them, you've known them for a while, and then one day you just stumbled on them on LinkedIn and you're going, huh? Really? You do all of this? I didn't know that. So there's work for you to do. So that takes us back to your elevator pitch and why it helps to maximize networking potential. So if you meet a person today, you're networking with them, right? But if they're not clear on your value, you don't have your elevator pitch and you ended that conversation or ended that meeting without clearly delivering information about the value you bring to the table, you have wasted that networking opportunity. You have wasted that potential. You're not taking maximum advantage of that potential. That's the point. And some of the biggest names we know today, some of them alive, some of them, late now, the people who have taken maximum, go and read the story of Steve Jobs and Apple. Go and read the story of Oprah Winfrey, Oprah Winfrey, who at the point where she was still considered very much an underdog, her elevator pitch helped her to nail a position that then transformed her career. So when we're talking about these things, they're not just things that are just floating in the air or just motivation or just information. These are things that work. And you may have heard that life runs on principles. It's the truth. These are one of the principles. The most basic thing you can do for yourself is to nail your elevator pitch so you can maximize every networking potential. Everybody you meet goes away with clear information on what you do, who you are, and how you fit into the opportunities that are within their circle. I'm not making a mental note. So I'm meeting you today. For example, imagine that I'm an Oprah Winfrey. And I'm meeting you and I'm asking you, what do you do? I said, and I'm just going, and in my mind, I'm thinking, can we be done with this? Can we go? Or you're telling me something that will make me pity you, but not value you. That will make me pity you, but not value you. So you have to be, so we'll talk about the next part now is crafting your elevator pitch. We'll talk about how to craft it, but begin to think of the things about yourself as we go along. Begin to reflect, begin to think of the things about you that really make you tick. If you're struggling to come up with those things, then you need to make personal reflection a constant, regular part of your life. So finally, nailing your elevator pitch helps you to maximize every networking potential. And you probably got a notification at the beginning of the meeting. You most likely know already, but let me just mention it again that the session has been live streamed. And so please try not to unmute yourself so you don't have your business out there for people. And there's no expectation for you to turn on your video, just so you know. Okay, thank you. Now we're moving on to crafting your elevator pitch. 1 minute, please. I'm just going to quickly work on the view. I just realized that I haven't worked on the view and can't find it. So I'm going to have to leave it like that. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Yeah. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, crafting your elevator pitch. So knowing everything that you now know about the elevator pitch. You know how I said visualize your journey in an elevator and how short it can be and how you need to deliver information about your value in that short time in a way that catches their attention, leaves a lasting impression and gets them hungering for more about you. They want to know more. So we're going into crafting your elevator pitch with that lens. We've also talked about how your elevator pitch can be context-based. You can have different, like it's where you have different resumes. You can also have different elevator pitches for different scenarios. And how you have to be smart about what you're putting forward about yourself. I know it's wonderful to be a medical doctor. It's wonderful to be a lawyer or a pilot or an engineer, all of those things. But if that's not the space you're looking for opportunities in right now, I wouldn't suggest those to be part of your elevator pitch. They can come later when the person begins to ask more questions. Oh, really? Oh, you've done this. Oh, tell me more. Oh, tell me about your background. Then you can mention, actually, I used to practice as this. But you're leading with that thing that if they were to leave you in that moment, they can very easily say, these are the opportunities that I can map this person to. So moving on, let's talk about crafting your elevator pitch. So we're going to start by talking about different elements of your elevator pitch. So what I want you to do is, as we're going along now, begin to, that pen and paper I asked you to get, this is where you need to use it. As we're talking, begin to write your own elevator pitch, begin to craft it. At the end of the session, I'll ask that you type, if you want, type your elevator pitch. If you're watching here, type your elevator pitch in the chat, or if you're on YouTube, feel free to type your elevator pitch on YouTube if you're comfortable with that. So moving on, the first part of your elevator pitch is your introduction, right? And what does your introduction cover? A brief greeting. I don't know what your context is, but my own context, where I'm coming from, I said Nigeria. Hello might not be, that's why, I said it's contextual. You have to read the room, know your environment, know what obtains here for you to know what to say. If you're in the elevator with your managing director in Nigeria and you're saying hello, It's like you don't want to be promoted. You will not be saying hello. You most likely be saying, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. Good evening, ma. Good, But here in Canada, it's generally acceptable for you to say hello. It's not even expected that you would say, sir, right? If you make the mistake, I often talk about this because I've seen too many people making this mistake where just because you're saying somebody, they appear to be male traditionally, or by traditional standards, they're assuming and saying, hello, sir. What if the person does not identify as male? Which is why it was intentional not to include anything that, is gender identifying here in the greeting. It's okay to say hello, except you already know the person's name. So if the person's name is Andre, Ola, Ayo, Shade, Lindiwe, Esther, whatever name. Hello, Esther. Hello, Andre. Hello, this. Except also you have received an email from the person or some sort of communication from the person, or they have a name tag that clearly shows their preferred pronouns, you are not allowed. You shouldn't be, it's not safe. Not that you're not allowed. It's not safe for you to assume and then put like a star or a ma. The other thing is ma is not often received, particularly ma, is not often received in the same way that it used to be received from our home countries. I think for most people of African descent, I want to say, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm also on a learning journey here. If in your home country in Africa, it's different, please feel free to let us know. We'll be very happy to hear from you. You can send us an email at info@thesuccessfulnewcomer.com, or you can type in a chat box, or you can send us a DM at The Successful Newcomer, or you can, on Instagram. I want to believe you can also send us a message on LinkedIn. So as I was saying, ma might be misinterpreted if you use it here by default. The person might feel like you're making them look old, which is why you have to be careful with those things. You don't want to put people off. Remember how we said first impressions matter. You don't want to put people off even before they hear your full 30-second elevator pitch. You are putting them off from your first word. So hello, your name. I hope you're writing this down. Hello, your name. So I am Ola. Hello, I am Ola. Or hello, my name is Ola. And then your profession. So are you a recruiter? Like I said, you know how I said I can't count the number of times I've asked people, so what kind of opportunities are you looking for? And they said, oh, anything, please, I beg you, nail it down to 2, 3. And I know that because you're still looking for different opportunities, you might not want to put yourself in a box, but narrow it down to 2 to 3 things. So depending on the situation. So if you're in a particular, maybe you're in a networking event for IT professionals, you already know the one you will see. If you are in the networking event and then your most preferred one, irrespective of where you are, the one you'd really love, that profession that you'd really love to build your career in, that's the one that will most likely come out, that you should most likely use, or that I would suggest you use for situations like unexpected networking opportunities, like your school, community center, the gym, anywhere. Right? And then when the person asks you more questions, you can say, oh, I can also do this. I'm also interested in this. I have skills in this. I have skills in this. So are you a recruiter? Are you an IT project manager, a business analyst, a consultant, an accountant, an auditor, whatever you are? So let's begin to build. Hello, my name is Ola. I am a recruiter. Or, hello, my name is Ola. People call me the joyful recruiter. So you can put in a bit of fun and lightheartedness here. It could even, in fact, in a lot of cases, that's what would get the person's attention. They'll say, oh, that's funny. So imagine you're saying, hello, my name is, for example, what do we have here? Friendly auditor. It's a stereotype. I know it is a stereotype, but excuse me, where I'm coming from, auditors are not usually known to be that nice, right? And I know it's a stereotype. This is not me trying to reinforce that stereotype. I'm just saying that that's what generally obtains. So imagine that you're saying, oh, hi, my name is Ola. I'm a recruiter, friends call me, or my clients call me the friendly, or I'm the friendly auditor. There's a possibility that the person is going, oh, friendly, oh, that's nice. I would like to really learn more about that. Just you can feel free to bring it fun, but also read the room. Read the room. There's some situations where It's just better to play safe and just say, hello, my name is Ola. I am an accountant. Hello, my name is Ola, an accountant. That's it. And move on. So that's your introduction. That's a part of your elevator pitch. So let's move on to the next component. The next component is your value proposition. There are 3 parts to your value proposition, and we'll talk about those parts now. So it's about, the first thing is just like a business, your target market. You have to know. So, and I know that you might be thinking, I'm a working professional. I don't do business. What does it mean? There shouldn't be any reason for me to mention a target market. I can work in any industry. That's why when you're going for networking events, you need to do research beforehand, before the networking events. Know where you're going, know the kind of people that are coming there, and know the things that you'll be saying that will be seizing their senses. Also, based on your experience, there are industries that you have worked in. For me, I have worked in consulting, financial services, and nonprofit. Even within a nonprofit space, I have worked with different types of, so government organizations, women serving organizations, and other organizations like that, right? So you have to really know who you are serving, where your experience has been. You also have to know that even as an IT professional, there's a likelihood that the way you practice your IT work, and I don't know anything about it, I'm probably saying nonsense, but the way you practice your IT work within the bank might be different from the way you would practice it within another industry or the nonprofit space, right? So you really want to narrow down on that. So you could be saying something like, hello, my name is Ola, I'm a recruiter. We'll get to the point where you will talk about your target market as we build this along. Don't worry, we'll see it, right? But think about, like emerging tech companies, manufacturing firms, financial services, whatever it is. It can be, this is not an exhaustive list, but just have an idea of the industries. Also, if it's about a job, you already know the industry that the work is in. So if you're applying for a job with the region of Waterloo, you know that it's the municipal government now. If you're applying for a job with TD Bank, you know it's the financial services space. If you're applying for a job with Canada Life, you already know that's the insurance space, or I don't know what that industry is called. If you're applying for a job with Google, you know that's tech. So, or if you've worked in those spaces, you know tech, just know that those things. Narrow them down. So mentally, if I happen to be a Trudeau, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this friend in the aero space, is there anything like that, aerospace, is looking for someone, and this person might be a fit. I'm thinking already. So think about it. I help highly pressured compliance teams see, so they can see themselves in what you're saying. They can see themselves in the solution you're offering, or they can see their friend in the solution you're offering, or they can see a neighbor, or it can be stamped in their brain such that if they are having a conversation in a couple of weeks, they can easily say, oh, you're looking for someone who is very good with nonprofit projects, right? I met somebody a couple of weeks ago. They are this, because you were clear. Because you were clear. So, hello, my name is Ola. I'm a recruiter. I help highly pressured compliance teams. We're building it. So be building it like that. Or I offer, we're building it like that. And this is not cast in stone. It's just your starting point. As long as all of these elements are present, then you can tweak your elevator pitch. It's not cast in stone, but if you're starting from the scratch, this is a good start. So moving on. The second part of your value proposition is the problem you solve / the solution you offer. Chances are, if you're talking about the solution, you're already hinting at the problem, and we'll talk about it now. So think about how we said, I help highly pressured compliance teams, or I help manufacturing firms. Let's build it like that. Hi, my name is Ola. I'm a recruiter. Let's just say it like that. I help manufacturing firms boost revenue, or reduce customer churn, or increase regulatory compliance, or find the best talent, or reduce funding anxiety. Of course, we know that the people who usually have funding anxiety are nonprofit organizations. I'm just saying, You're building as we're going, and I hope you're building yours too. Please indulge me. Build as we go. Moving on, the third part of your value proposition is how you solve the problem. What makes you different from others? Have you ever heard this interview question? Why do you think you're the best person for the job? You can derive your answer to that question from your elevator pitch, even if you didn't practice it before. If you have your different types of elevator pitches and you already know what makes you the best, so you would be able to answer the question off the top of your head without thinking too much. So, see how we've been building. Hi, my name is Ola. I am what did I call myself before? I can't remember. Let me say business analyst. I'm a business analyst. I help highly pressured compliance, or let's say I'm a business analyst. I help manufacturing organizations boost revenue through tailored recruitment solutions, or find the best talent. I help manufacturing firms find the best talent through tailored recruitment solutions, or boost employee capacity through culturally relevant workshops. So the other thing I wanted to say here is in this part where you're talking about the problem or the solution. And this cuts across, particularly if you're a business owner or you're talking to a small business owner. So you want to work with a one-man business or an entrepreneur, or you're, not too big, or a team lead. Speak more to their pain. Just like a business, see yourself as a commodity. You're a product. And if you have, again, I will talk about our resume writing toolkit. If you have gotten the resume writing toolkit, I mentioned there that see your job search as a marketing campaign. And you are the product. If you see yourself as that product, your job is to sell yourself in a way that makes you very desirable. So what makes you desirable? By speaking to their pain, by positioning yourself as the person that can solve their problem. So it's not about cut down reporting times. What does the reporting time cost them? Is it the headaches? Is it late nights? Is it regulatory? Is it protecting their reputation? Is it so that pain that comes as a result of the challenges that they're facing? That's what you want to speak to first. So reducing customer churn, they're losing money. So save money. Do you understand? Save money or boost revenue. There's no business that doesn't want to make more money. So it depends on what the situation is. Examine what the situation is and speak to the pain. I tell you, if you talk to any nonprofit leader and you tell them that you can help them reduce funding anxiety, they will ask you more questions because that's the pain. That's my space, so I know. That's a pain that is common to many nonprofit leaders, even those that appear to be well-funded. So if you talk about helping to reduce funding anxiety, you can be sure that you have their attention. So say that thing that will get the person's attention. So moving forward again. So through tailored recruitment solutions, culturally relevant workshops, agile and cost-effective IT. I don't even know if there's anything like that, but if you're an IT professional, you would know. Agile and cost-effective IT solutions, whatever it is. So now you're talking about how you're doing what you do. So you've talked about you mentioned your target market. You've talked about the problem that you solve and the solutions that you provide. And then you're talking about how you do it. So you're not leading with, oh, we offer recruitment services. There are many people who offer recruitment services. Why you? That why you is answered by leading with the problem that you're solving. And then you can now say, I'm solving the problem through tailored. So there's another thing that I've noticed with people is people tend to overthink value proposition. They're thinking they have to say something like heaven and earth will fall. Something as simple as tailored. Maybe that's what they're looking for. I do nonprofit consulting, and one thing that a number of my clients have said to me that they really love about my services is that I am flexible. even though that's killing me now. But they really love the fact that I'm flexible and I'm not trying to put them in a box. So what do people complain the most about? So what's the headache of, if you're a business analyst, what's the headache of most of the people or leaders you engage with in the organization? In your experience, what has been that common thing? That's what you want to be speaking to. What's that thing that makes you tick, and how do you solve that problem? So it can be culturally relevant workshops, because one of the, I'm sure you know that there are many elevator pitch workshops everywhere. If you go Google now, go on. But we are speaking from the reason why we are different. The reason why the successful newcomer is different is because we're culturally relevant. We're speaking from the perspective of where you're coming from. We're not ignoring your cultural context. We're bringing it along with you. And that's why also, if I were to promote our resume writing toolkit now, I'll be telling you that it was built with your cultural context in mind. So those mistakes that other workshops are not even knowing, they don't even know you're making the mistakes because they don't know those mistakes exist. We are able to know those mistakes because we know where you're coming from. And that's where we are building from. And that's where if you buy the resume writing toolkit, you listen, you watch, and you action the things that are there, you would begin to get interviews, even if you were not getting interviews before. See how that's happening now. So moving on. Those are the elements of your value proposition. For a lot of people, your elevator pitch is done. By the time you talk about, you do your introduction, and then you move on to your value proposition. But just to move it further, depending on what the context is, right? If it's, like we said, it can be a, for me, I hardly let people go without connecting with them on LinkedIn. Because there's only so much we can discuss in person, right? There's only so much we can discuss via email. Will I be sending you emails every day? Are you going to be sending me emails every day? But if I say, put a call to action, and I say, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, even though we have said your elevator pitch is important because first impressions matter. So even if you were not clear with your first impression, by the time you begin to engage with them on LinkedIn, you are able to kind of redeem your image. Or if there's no LinkedIn, or if it's not a context that requires LinkedIn, by the time you say, oh, I look forward to connecting with you, maybe there's another event coming up, or you can find me you can just provide maybe your Instagram page if it's a business. Maybe you've not been able to, you run a fashion business and or maybe you're a social media specialist and you're trying to get a job as a social media manager. And maybe also because we come from a different context. So you may be saying stuff that they don't really get it yet. They don't really understand your oomph yet. By the time you send them your social media page, they are quickly reaching out to you via DM and saying, oh my, you are amazing. You have this number of followers. You have this level of engagement. You have this level of, brand visibility and all of those things. And that's what they're looking for, which is why I would often suggest that you include a call to action in your elevator pitch. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to, but my suggestion is that you should include it in your elevator pitch. So now that we are here, I want to believe you have your elevator pitch now written out. Feel free to begin to type it in the chat box, or if you're watching on YouTube, in the comments, right? I'm just trying to check if there's anybody here. So in the comments. So let's move on. I'm going to show you a model, a sample now of what an elevator pitch can look like. And I'm going to try to type myself. Let's bring it all together. So let me set a 30-second timer and let's see if this is delivered. I didn't test it before now. Let's see if it gets delivered in 30 seconds. Please set a 30-second timer. Hello, hi, I'm Lindy Way, a recruiter. My clients call me the joyful matchmaker. I help compliance teams in financial services industries find top talents quickly through tailored recruitment solutions with trusted sources. So let's connect on LinkedIn if you're looking to build your team efficiently. See? That was done in 25 seconds, actually. It was done in 25 seconds. I remember that this thing was spinning And I didn't even start on time. So I was reading it too fast. But by the time one thing you also have to do is you have to practice your elevator pitch. You cannot say that you've written it and then that's it. You have to practice it. Because if you don't practice it, you won't be able to own it. Do you understand? If you don't practice it, you won't be able to own it. The more you practice it, then you won't be able to see things that are wrong with it. As you're practicing it and you're talking about it, you'll be able to know, oh, that's not sounding nice. That doesn't flow nicely. That doesn't, remember how I said it's not cast in stone. As long as all the vital elements are there, your name, your profession, your your target market, the solution, the problem you solve, and how you solve it, and your call to action. As long as they're all there, you can play around with this to come to have your elevator pitch. So again, I'll read it. Hi, I'm Linda Way, a recruiter. My clients call me the joyful matchmaker. I help compliance teams in financial services find top talent quickly through tailored recruitment solutions with trusted sources. If you don't want to include your call to action, that's it. If you want to include your call to action, let's connect on LinkedIn if you're looking to build your team efficiently. So the other thing I wanted to say to you is just the same way as a business, you will not appeal to everybody. It's the same way that your elevator pitch will not appeal to everybody. Don't let that discourage you. But the people who have the pain you're trying to solve would get hooked on you, right? So another sample is, hi, I'm Ola. I'm a project manager and I help tech companies streamline operations. Let's connect if you're looking to keep more of your revenue while not compromising on project quality. So see that this has been edited a little bit. The flow has been edited a little bit because if you look at this now, more of something that will grab them has been included after Let's Connect. So it gives them a reason to want to connect with you, to want to take the next step. It's unrealistic to expect that in just 30 seconds, you will impress somebody so much and they'll just give you a job, or they'll just say, oh, I really want to refer you for this opportunity, or they will give you a $50 million contract. It's unrealistic. Can it happen? Yes, it could. So again, like I said, the elevator pitch is not an exhaustive list. The elevator pitch is not a magic wand, but it's something that gets people interested in you to the point where they're opening more doors for you. There's this guy, something Stevenson, who delivered an elevator pitch to the TED Talk curator. And then that person invited him to come do a TED Talk, a 12-minute TED Talk. Guess what that led to for him? A $1 million funding in his business. So your elevator pitch is like it triggers a chain reaction. That's it. Think of it like that, something that triggers a chain reaction. So don't be disappointed if it feels like not much happened, but you struck a chord. Your goal is to strike a chord such that they try to find you, or they are encouraged to connect with you, which is why I wouldn't suggest that you skip the call to action part. You can even say, I would like to follow you on LinkedIn, or follow you on LinkedIn, mostly if it's a work situation, right? Instagram, you may come across as creepy. But if it's a creative space, you could, they could want to mention Instagram if it's a creative space, because a lot of people share their creative work on Instagram. So now it is your turn to craft your elevator pitch. And it's okay if you don't want to type it in a chat box, but write it. So I'm going to give 1 minute for that. And we're just right on time. I'm so proud of myself. It was supposed to be a 1-hour session before we talk about a few other things. So right on time, but I need you to write. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Once it's 1 minute, I will go on, but I want to believe that you have written your elevator pitch. I'll do a 1 minute timer. Please set a 1 minute timer. Yeah. And if you've been following along, you would have started writing, your introduction, your profession. If you want to put a lovely adjective before your profession, that's okay. Your target market, which is your industry, or the types of teams that you support, the problem that you solve, and the solutions you bring, and how you solve those problems, and then your call to action. And then you have your elevator pitch. Another thing you can do is you can generate different versions of this with AI. Just tell it your story, type your drafts that we have written now there, and ask it to assess it for you. Use it as your personal assistant. Say, review this elevator pitch for me and improve it where necessary. And it will give you, or just tell it to give you 3 different variants of the elevator pitch, and it will. Is it 1 minute already? Okay. Right. Okay, so moving on. I want to believe you have already done that. It's okay if you don't want to share. We'll just go ahead. So my call to you now is to go forth and shine. When you meet people, you feel free to use your elevator pitch and let's know how it was for you. I know you probably have questions. And I'm also going to be checking on YouTube if there's anybody who has any questions. And if you have any questions, feel free to use your elevator pitch. If you have any questions, type in the chat box. But while you're coming up with your questions, I would like to share more about some of the upcoming activities that we have and some of the work that we do. Feel free to type your questions. I will address them. So again, this is the Successful Newcomer, and our vision is that we will have a diverse and supportive community where newcomers settle effectively, thrive, and positively contribute to the community and the economy. Our mission is to empower newcomers of Black, African, and Caribbean descent to settle and thrive in Canada through tailored learning opportunities and by leveraging digital media. Some of the valuable offerings that we have, one of them was what you saw at the beginning, which was the Rising Strong video series. That was season 1. And then I'm going to be showing you a video of season 2.
5 years ago, I decided to immigrate to Canada with my family.
Sorry about that. I just want to be sure that your audio is working. But if your audio is not working for you, let me know and I will work that out. But I think it's working.
National students coming in 2022.
I moved to Canada in 2019.
I got to Canada in 2006.
I came to Canada in 2019.
I came in as a student.
My immigrant journey actually started in 2019.
I moved into Canada in 2015.
I arrived in 2023.
We came in 2017.
Nothing prepared me for the Canadian experience.
One of the main challenges for me has been finding communities that understand and appreciate you for who you are.
My journey coming to Canada, of course, it didn't pick from where I was.
The systems were different.
It's totally different from some of the things I see on the internet.
Transitioning from back home wasn't an easy journey.
I quickly learned that for a specific job, you need to have a specific resume.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy experience.
If I'm coming back to Canada, I have to prepare very well before I come.
I had to network, even though that's not a natural thing for me.
Right. Thank you for watching. That's the trailer of the 2nd season of the Rising Strong video series, and it's just a series that helps you to get information, find inspiration, and compassion in our journey in Canada. Another goal of the series is to challenge the mainstream narrative about immigrants who are Black, in thinking, we're here to add value to the system. We're here to invest in the system. We're not here to take from the system, right? So those are some of the goals that some of the reasons why we put together the series, and we've gotten lots and lots of positive feedback about the video series. You can find it on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and when we're done, I will post links to all of those, everything I'm going to talk about in the chat box. The other things that we do, and another part of our work would be the Successful Newcomer webinars. They're all free. Our webinars are always free. At least the live webinars are always free. And we've had a couple of webinars. The first one is the Elevate Your Career webinar, where we talked about resume writing. If you're struggling with resume writing, if you're not getting interviews, you really want to be watching that webinar as your first step. And then we had the Interview Like a Pro webinar a couple of weeks ago, and that's where you really want to, build your interview muscles in Canada. And everything is built within the context of Canada, but with a clear focus on the fact, not focus, clear consideration for our context as people of particularly African descent, because we don't understand the Caribbean context yet. We engage with people of that identity, but we don't understand it yet. And so we work primarily from the African context. So you can find a replay of the resume webinar on our YouTube page. If you'd like to gain access to the Interview Like a Pro webinar, send us an email and we would get in touch. We'll get that across to you. And our webinars are basically geared towards ensuring that you thrive within the Canadian system. Another thing that we have here would be the resume writing toolkit, which I have been mentioning to you about. It's a toolkit that has 29 videos that would help you it's a hand-holding process. Like, we practically hold your hand through the process of crafting a resume that would get you those interviews you've been looking for. There are models for writing your professional summary, which is what most recruiters will see first when they open your resume. There are tips for you to optimize the applicant tracking system. There are videos. There's a detailed video on how to tailor your resume to different job postings, including how to analyze job postings in a way that helps you to write your resume effectively. There's a video on how to highlight your achievements in different ways. There's a video on many mistakes that immigrants of Black African descent make and how you can correct them. There are tools, there are templates, there are links in there. There's so many resources that you truly need for your resume. If you want that, you can get $10 off today. I will post the link once we're done right now, once I stop sharing my screen. There's no need to watch the video. I don't want to take too much of your time. Also, we have the Interview Like a Pro workshops. We have completed one, which was the in-person one we did last Friday, a couple of weeks ago, where it's a 3-hour workshop where participants gained hands-on experience in mastering the art of interviews. It was amazing. The feedback was remarkable. There were interactive role plays, scenario simulations, with the lens storytelling techniques, and then above all, people were able to build their confidence. They got that self-assurance and they got that confidence, built up so they can go after the opportunities that they truly deserve. They were also able to work with a personal action plan on how to make the most of their time at the workshop. So this is a video from...
Honestly, I have enjoyed the section. I feel so blessed. I know I came here as confused.
Before I came here, I was thinking, what am I going to learn that I've not learned elsewhere?
I think this is very important. This is good.
It was a very good session indeed. I learned a lot.
Oh, what a wonderful workshop this afternoon. It's a very beautiful one. One of the takeaway is don't throw away your experiences of what you have acquired in the time past.
You are not alone. Keep the head up.
I'm going very, very confident. I have learned so much.
You decolonize your mind. You actually gain confidence, and then you become that person that you seek.
And I can tell you again for free that it is good for us to be here. It builds, it makes you know that you are not different from the person sitting next to you.
Okay, thank you. So the next workshop is happening. The last one happened on October 18th, and the next one is happening online on November 2nd from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. And your investment is just was I going to say $49,000? $49, right? And if you register with a friend, you get a 20% discount. So now let's address the questions. Was there any question in the chat box? Okay, there's no question yet in the chat box. I'll say thank you so much for being here. Feel free to scan the barcodes or click the links that I'm going to post in the chat box to follow us, connect with us on social media, or send us an email if you'd like to stay connected with us, or if you have any questions. I'd like to give you 20 minutes of your time back tonight, so that you can get some rest before tomorrow. I'm just posting all of the links to the chat box for you. The first link is the one to the resume toolkit, which you can click on to get the resume toolkit at $10 off tonight. The other links are for our social media pages. Please feel free to connect with us on social media. I would like to be connected with you. We share lots and lots of helpful content. If you go on our page right now, you'll find lots and lots of helpful content that you can immediately begin to use in your journey. There's also the link to register for the Interview Like a Pro workshop online, the one that's happening on November 2nd. If you struggle with interviews, you really do not want to miss out on this opportunity to register. And we encourage you to share about our work, share about your experience. If you had a good time at the webinar tonight, please feel free to share with friends on social media and tag us. We'd like to hear more about you. We'd like to hear more from you. And feel free to also send us an email at info@thesuccessfulnewcomer if you have any feedback from us. Thank you so much for being here. Just type in the email. Yeah, info@thesuccessfulnewcomer.com. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And we wish you the absolute best in your journey. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Feel free to let your friends know, and feel free to let people know on your social media if you want, and tag us. Would be happy to respond and repost that. Take care of yourself and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye. Thank you.